Good morning. We've been talking about faith and continuing through Hebrews 11 and the various manifestations of faith. We come to Moses and Moses' parents, and that may seem a little odd, but they're included in this hall of faith, and I think it's fascinating. And so both of them, in some ways, both Moses and his parents, seem to hit on the demonstration of faith as a kind of resolve. I have the kind of faith that is needed to be able to push through something in life and resolve to accomplish something over against obstacles. But I want to show you one particular aspect of this faith in Moses' parents, and people who don't get a lot of press and who probably should be considered with a little bit more weight. Hebrews 11:23. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hidden for 3 months by his parents because they saw that the child was beautiful. And then here's the key phrase, verse 23, and they were not afraid of the king's edict. Now you'll remember the king's edict, going back to Exodus, was the idea that those infants that were born to the Israelites, Pharaoh said that they needed to be put to death. And of course, the Hebrew midwives found a way to trick Pharaoh and his men and allow many of those Hebrew children to be born. Moses was one of those who was came under the king's nose, so to speak, quite literally, was born, and fearing what might end up happening to him, his mother placed him in a basket on the River Nile and set him out and had him kind of pushed out near Pharaoh's daughters and her servants. And of course, the story goes that then Moses ended up being taken in and was raised in Pharaoh's home. And the text here is highlighting a key thing that I want you to think about. Faith is not sheepish. Faith is strong. It's not stubborn. And faith is not haphazard in kind of a reckless way. But faith is open, wide to risk, because faith rejects the fear of man. This is the great respect. See, there is no Moses if there's not Moses' parents. There's great respect for Moses' parents because they acted in faith and ran the risk, both themselves and for their child, at a time when those risks were large, those risks were big, those risks were heavy. Death waited them. But seeking to preserve this child, trusting God that God would preserve this child, acting in faith, they defied the king's edict. See, there's a thing here about faith that we have to get a hold of, and that is faith being over against fear is over against a particular kind of fear, and that is a kind of fear where you give to people a kind of sovereign sway in your life, or you fear what they might do or what they might say, or you fear how particular unjust authorities might relate to you, and so forth. It's not that we want to operate with a lack of respect, but our ultimate respect is to God. And you want to be a person who is not swayed by the fear of man. You reject the fear of man. Now you reject it because you are enraptured with the love of Christ. And being fully His, you can follow Him in faith. So my encouragement to you is don't give in. Do not give in to the fear of man. That's over against faith in God. Only one is sovereign, and it is no man or woman that you will ever meet, but God Himself. May the Lord bless you today.